We might be getting fiber.
All right. Which part of your patio do you want me to take on right now? Right here? Is this good? Here? How about I'll do it on the desk. I'm going to go inside. We're getting fiber. All right.
Quiet, please.
I don't know if we're getting fiber, but the neighborhood might be getting fiber.
If the neighborhood's getting fiber and you don't get fiber, that is the only way you could make it worse for me, is to know that you have access to it. And every day she'd be like, oh yeah, man, they lowered it to $45 for 5 gig symmetric. Like, I will drive my car through your gate
In 4,
and wire it up myself.
3,
It's not a wire.
All right. Don't cause trouble.
2.
Company presents a truly terrible podcast. Welcome to Nonsense Season 3, Episode 50. I'm Jeff Parker.
I'm Stu Little.
This is our take on the week's business, tech, and entertainment headlines. This time, after bloody youth uprising, Nepal's 73-year-old Chief Justice steps in.
She was quoted as saying, of course I'm the voice of the youths.
A solid blueprint or a costly mess? California's AI bill, SB 53, divides tech.
Oh man, it's going to be tabs versus spaces all over again.
RFK Jr. seeks to restrict COVID shots to 75 and up, citing debunked claims they killed kids.
So now we want to ban things that kill kids? Oh, the NRA is going to be so pissed.
The U.S. and China might finally have a TikTok deal.
The word might is doing some real heavy lifting there.
Also, our big story later this week, don't touch that dial, a history of the remote control. How's your week going?
My week?
That's what I asked.
I'm you know, I hear somebody calling my name next door. I feel like I got to go. I got a thing. I got an appointment. As you well know, our listeners don't, I contracted COVID last week.
I'm so sorry.
That was great.
My Signal inbox is flooded with pictures of COVID
my
tests.
I love that I just keep sending tests. I send them to everybody because, like, if people think I'm like lying to them or trying to skirt them, there is, you know, some loose data that says the color and time at which the line comes up shows your viral load.
Yeah, sure.
And let me tell you, I was loaded with the viri because my line was very blue, very fast.
Your line was blue and 3D.
Yeah, it was a hologram. I got the little Tupac line came up. So yeah, it got me the COVID again. I sequestered. So basically it was an entire life of watching my kids live their life through the window inside the house, which made me feel quite sad.
Do they video chat with you?
No, they don't love me enough to want to video chat with me.
Yeah.
I did talk to them a little bit. It's amazing how much I miss them. I sequestered to my office so that I didn't have to go into the house and contaminate their air. It was what I would describe as a very mild case of COVID. I had a runny nose and aches. I had a little bit of fevers, but I am better now. I am still a little congested, as you hear in my voice, but I'm not going to get you sick. So that's the best part.
You're a kind human being.
Yeah. And my friends were like, whoa, wow, you didn't, like, nobody else in your house got sick? And I was like, well, yeah, I wear a mask and stay away from them.
Sure.
It's amazing how basic precautions seem to help.
I got vaxxed for the new COVID variant.
Oh, yeah? I could have just come over and saved you the poke.
Exactly. In California, they make it fairly easy. They do have to ask you, do you have an underlying condition?
Yeah.
Because you're not 65 years old.
Yes.
You just say yes. They don't even ask you what it is. And yes, my underlying condition is I'm a human.
Yeah. That would like to have less effects if I get COVID.
I like not being sick. Thank you very much. Jab right here, please.
My underlying condition. Yeah. What else you got in that drawer?
Exactly.
You got measles? What else you got? Come on, give me some others. I drove all the way in here. I drove 3 miles. Give me all the sticks.
Not even. I went to the one right next to the notch. I could have walked.
You could have walked there, basically. Like, I walked all the way over here. I want all the jabs. Anyway,
You and I have opposite views on this, but my overall sense of this is our pharmacies, I don't know if this is all of California, but it certainly is true in Southern California. Our pharmacies are great. It's so easy to get things like vaccinations.
You go to one of those fancy concierge pharmacies?
I don't. In fact, that's so funny you say that, because my doctor said, go to the concierge pharmacy in Beverly Hills. They'll give you this shot right away. Yeah. And it was like, no, I'm 5 steps from CVS right now. I'm going to walk over there. No. And it was a great experience. It was so good.
Yeah.
You and I someday, when you're well, not now, when you're well, you and I need to go into a CVS together. And you could show me exactly what it is you're seeing. Okay. And I'll tell you what color the sky is in my world.
Sure. For all the folks listening that haven't been with us for long, this is from the same man who loves going to the DMV. Let's just leave that
because
there.
I used to go to the DMV pre-appointment, and the appointment makes it so easy now.
I agree. The appointment is better than not having the appointment.
It has changed the DMV
for the better. I 100% agree. The experience is still like. Let me be incredibly transparent. I would rather go get my teeth cleaned than go to the DMV.
I like getting my teeth cleaned.
Okay, so we agree on this.
I love the feeling of having my teeth cleaned. I love that after feeling.
We both have a lot of issues to unpack. Maybe the show's not the right place to do it. Quote, I love having my teeth clean.
I do.
Is that the moment that you knew he was a psychopath? Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was about the time. That's when I figured it out. How many bodies were in the freezer?
Exactly.
Oh, a lot. He had a lot.
When I used to have important presentations and things I had to do, I would, just to make myself feel good ahead of time, I would go and get my teeth clean.
That is one of the weirdest kinks I've ever heard of.
Oh, no, because I love that feeling of having my teeth freshly cleaned. It's awesome.
Early in my relationship with my lovely wife, she said to me one day, I forgot, how do you remember what it was? We ate something. She's like, doesn't that make your teeth feel weird? And I was like, what are you talking about? I just eat the thing. And she's like, no, doesn't it feel like your teeth have little socks on them?
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at her like she was crazy. I was like, what are you talking? She's like, socks on your teeth.
No, I get that.
Like, I tried to keep an open mind, and then whatever it was I ate later, I was like, yeah, okay, I guess I could kind of see how it feels like your teeth are. Like, socks on your teeth? Like, this is from a human who's in the medical field.
There are certain foods they serve at Dodger Stadium which I wish they would serve with a water pick.
Some real first world problems. I hate when I'm going to see my Dodgers play and I don't have a water pick to get the chili out of my teeth.
It's disgusting how it sticks in you. It's not for me.
Are we doing a tech show anymore, or what is this?
At some point you should ask me how my week is.
Oh, you had a week too. I forget that when I have a week and you have a week.
I know, you think you're the only one on the show.
Yeah, how did your 2 teeth cleanings go this past week?
I didn't have a teeth cleaning. That's not my weekly report.
What a sad week.
I did have, and it does relate to the show, so I thought it was kind of interesting.
Okay.
I did have two different sets of people talking about something we talk about on this show, and it totally made
Elon Musk.
made this whole thing just flash in front of my head.
Spying on the Russians.
Do you want me to tell my week, or you want to tell my week?
I haven't seen another human for 5 days. Okay, I'm pretty excited to be in your company. So just settle down a little. All right, I'll turn on my inside voice. Go ahead.
Some guys I hike with, and then another dear friend of mine, Craig, and they're both listeners to the show. They both brought up separately Occam's razor.
Oh, I love Occam's razor. I'm a big believer. I say it all the time.
One of your favorite things. And I thought, oh my gosh, because in the context that they brought up, not the first group, but Craig, it's important as a podcaster to, as the physicians say, first do no harm.
Sure.
So I think it's important to go over what Occam's razor is and is not.
Sure.
What it is not is any sort of law.
Yes.
If you go around saying Occam's razor, that's the way it is, you're going to be wrong an awful lot.
Well, that's like saying Murphy's Law.
The thing you hear Occam's razor used for all the time is to like end discussions on things, like a cudgel, like Occam's razor, it's the simpler of the two. And it's like, no, you're going to be wrong a lot if you say that. That's not really how life works.
No, okay.
Newtonian physics was wonderful. Einsteinian physics was more correct. And yes, it was way more complicated.
On some things it's more correct, on some things it's not. Einstein didn't have a fifth law of kinematics. We still go to Newton's kinematics.
So you approach the speed of light, sure.
But I understand your point. I do think a lot of people use it as leverage. The way I typically view it is when you have no additional data, if you have the same amount of data on a set of decisions that could be potential explanations, if you don't have any more data on one or the other, typically the easier explanation is probably the one that's more likely to be true.
But the much better answer is get more data. If somebody has the sniffles and they feel bad and their eyes are runny, they might have the flu.
Must be allergies.
Yes, keep testing. That might be Lyme's disease. What you don't want to do is say, Occam's razor, let's give you the flu shot.
No.
That's crazy.
This sounds like an episode of House.
That is not what Occam's razor is.
Yes, but if you're like, well, this person just came back from their cousin's house that has a cat and they're highly allergic to cats and their eyes are all puffy, you go, well, probably the simpler answer is that they're allergic to cats.
And it could be the wrong answer, so let's not stop the conversation. Let's get more data. Occam's razor should never be a conversation ender. It should not be an excuse to jump to a conclusion.
Before I came over to record today, we're already planning on having a fist fight? No, did it just pop into your mind now?
No, I don't understand. I just felt bad because it was brought up to me twice this week, and I was just like, wow, I really don't want people thinking Occam's razor is something it isn't. I think it's a useful, like, shorthand if you sort of need to come to a conclusion. Okay, I don't want people to think you're going to come to the right answer because it's the simpler of the two. That's just not true. That's not what William of Occam meant. I mean, Einstein famously rephrased it. We always say entities must not be multiplied beyond necessity. Yeah. Einstein's rephrase of it is much better. Yeah. Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler.
Agreed. I think the gap is with Occam's, I don't know why I'm so dug in on this. I feel triggered. It's the number of assumptions that you're making to get to the answer. Every assumption you make introduces a whole bunch of unknowns.
But that answer may or may not still be correct. What you can't assume is because it's simpler that it's correct.
But if you've run out of information, if you're like, well, I just can't get to any more information reasonably, then you go with the one with the least amount of assumptions because you have the least amount of opportunity to make mistakes.
Or you just accept the fact that you don't have the answer. It's okay to say,
no. Always got to have the answer.
Really important words for you to be able to say in life are, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I love the I don't know for sure. I mean, when other people say it. Yeah.
The simplified method of, gravity makes things fall sounds great.
I mean,
doesn't happen to be true.
Look, I shouldn't be making any big decisions. I just came off a 5-day bender with COVID. But normally we do like headlines. Is that right? Is that a thing we do on this show? Or do
We're going to get to that.
All right. Let's get
But I just felt like responsible because I heard people mention it and they were mentioning it in a way.
Yeah.
The second person was mentioning it in a way that just it isn't what Occam's razor is at all. You don't come to the conclusion by saying, oh, Occam's razor, it's the simpler. That's the conclusion. It's a shortcut and it's frequently wrong. That's all. We have our big story show Thursday and then we're off for a week.
Yay. Why are we off for a week?
I am going to Parents Week and I think you're doing
I'm probably getting the flu or something. I don't know.
That's what you have planned?
Well, I don't think these things ahead. When the COVID truck comes running right through your front door, a lot of plans go out the window.
So much for everything you've scheduled.
I mean, before I got COVID, I was literally like, oh man, this weekend I'm gonna get so much done.
Yeah.
I got so many.
No,
and then,
guess
to
not.
be fair, I got some done because I was sequestered, so I couldn't. All my parental responsibilities went out the window.
Yeah.
So I actually got to get to, but my cognition, which is already quite low, was about a third of that.
And I have to say, because I observed this, we talked about some technical things, some complex technical things, and I have to say, you seemed like you were razor sharp. You seemed like you were in great shape.
That was ChatGPT.
Totally fooled me.
Yeah.
Let's get to our headlines.
Headlines. Yeah. What's going on in the world? Has anything happened in the past week?
Nepal's new hope. A judge takes the reins. After weeks of deadly anti-corruption protests, Nepal has sworn in its first female prime minister, former Chief Justice Sushila Karki. The Gen Z uprising, initially sparked by a social media ban, escalated into a widespread outrage over government corruption and nepotism. The violence, which included police firing live ammunition on protesters, led to a resignation of the previous prime minister and a dissolution of parliament. Karki, a respected figure known for her tough stance against corruption, was the preferred choice of the young protesters. She's 73 years old.
I know.
Her appointment led to an interim government until new elections can be held, is seen as a move to restore stability and begin the process of rebuilding a nation shaken by anger and loss.
I don't know a lot about Nepal. Of course, this gets headlines because they picked her, supposedly, they being the quote younger generation.
I love the Nepalese youth who have chosen a 73-year-old to lead them.
Yeah.
Not because of her age, because she has stood her entire career against corruption.
There were several quotes from folks in their 20s saying this is the only person we can trust to do this, which I thought was really fascinating.
Yeah.
And this story gets headlines because they use a Discord server to sort of pick who it was.
Back up. Before you get to the Discord server, what was happening is on social media, young Nepalese people were seeing politicians' children posing with designer handbags and luxury travel, while most of the people are struggling to make ends meet. In response to this, the Nepalese government did, of course, what you would think they did.
Yep, as one does.
And they shut down social media.
Which on its surface, not a bad idea.
That would stop them from seeing those pictures.
I mean, it's really why you shut it down is the problem. And then the youth were like, all right, now we're just going to start burning stuff.
And looting things and breaking things. And
like, we're not going to take this. They went and did sort of full protest. They went after, of course, the figure buildings for Nepal's not a very big country. It's 30 million people. Yeah. So I don't think you need a lot of folks doing a lot of...
Smaller than California, and yet they have more representation in our Senate. It's not true, but it sounds like it should be true, right?
Would one of the 4 senators from Nepal please stand up? That's a very funny joke embedded in the whole Nepalese. That's kind of great. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, oh yeah, of course Nepal has more. You have these kids, basically these 20-year-olds that like they don't have access to the hanging Chad Diebold machines
for the voting.
They're not going to be able to spin that up. Yeah, for the voting. So they just sort of went to what they know and a Discord server with I think like 1.5 million people or so on it.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, here's a poll. Go ahead and vote. Now, to be clear, there's no certainty that these folks were all in Nepal or that they were even interested in the election. They could have been bots. Who knows? But it tried to give them a gist.
Who they wanted. Yeah.
Of who they wanted to vote for. And I thought that was really fascinating, right? It was a really interesting way to get there with the tools that you had on hand. And then for the answer, because remember, usually when we take stuff to the internet and we say, hey, internet, we want you to help us, for example, name this boat.
Yeah.
And you think you'd get something like King Charles III. No. You get Bodie McBoatface is what you get.
I love Bodie McBoatface.
Of course. But you get Bodie McBoatface. So you would have expected that the new prime minister for Nepal to be something like, Hulk Hogan. Like the ghost of Hulk Hogan. That's what you would have thought.
Well, in this country, it would be D's nuts.
Totally.
Exactly. D's nuts runs for president.
It's a write-in.
8 of them, 9 of them, 20 of them every year.
Yeah, there's always a D's nuts that wins. The point is, that's not what happened here. You ended up getting this woman who was, she was like a chief justice for quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
a very ethical woman, apparently.
She seemed to be insanely ethical. So she was actually, there was an impeachment motion from the ruling coalition after her bench overturned, like it was a government's choice for police chief.
Yeah.
And she stood her ground. The motion ended up being withdrawn after significant public and judicial backlash. So sort of showing the voice of the people works. I am assuming she's less corrupt than any of these other folks. I don't know for sure. She's certainly popular. So popular usually tells me less.
The youth can take to the streets again if she turns out to not be the person they think she is.
Yeah.
This has been building for a long time with a ton of unemployment for youth, lack of economic opportunities, and now disparities between the elected officials, kids, and everyone else. It sounds like a corrupt place, honestly.
Doesn't sound very non-corrupt.
It's in need of revolution.
Well, it sounds like that was what it got. Still certainly developing. There's a lot more to happen here. But I do love that they've put who seems to be the best person in the prime minister spot. So hopefully this is great for the Nepalese people.
A fascinating choice, to be sure.
Again, 20-something law students saying things as astute as, we want someone who has integrity and is not a political opportunist. And she fits that category for us.
Yeah.
I think somebody even had said she has shown she has a spine.
51 people were killed, including 21 protesters, 3 police officers, and 27 others.
Yeah, that is a non-zero number of people.
1,700 have been wounded in the clashes.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. That's a lot.
The Golden State's gambit. California's new bill takes on big AI. California lawmakers have passed an AI safety bill, SB 53, that requires transparency from firms developing frontier models like ChatGPT and Gemini. The legislation, which awaits Governor Newsom's approval, mandates safety protocols and creates whistleblower protections. It also proposes a public cloud initiative, CalCompute. While the bill has support from some major firms like Anthropic, others, including Andreessen Horowitz, criticize it for creating costly and complex processes that may not improve safety. Companies with over $500 million in annual revenue would face stricter oversight than smaller firms. The bill aims to establish a state standard in the absence of a federal one.
So when I first saw this, I was like, all right, you probably had a bunch of non-technical people write some crap down, and I can understand why all this oversight's not, what we want, and I can appreciate why Andreessen Horowitz is pushing back. And then I did something crazy.
Until you read it, sure.
I went and read the bill. Which, by the way, isn't that big. It's not even that long. And I'm kind of reading through this going, well, yeah, that makes sense. Like, are you...
Everything here is pretty sensible.
Not only
don't
that,
lie.
But you should
don't exaggerate your capabilities. Yeah, exactly.
Like, think about the impact of what you're going to do. And if it's going to be, this is my words, not the Bill's words, very bad, tell us.
Sure.
And by the way, they define very bad as like north of $1 billion or 50 deaths. Arbitrary numbers that seem more than reasonable.
Sure.
I read through this and I was just like, could this be better? Sure. Is it terrible? Absolutely not. Is this something we should put into effect? Yes. Because there isn't something else.
Don't suppress whistleblowers. Okay. Why do you have to make a law that says that in 2025? Why don't we just accept that for everything?
Yeah, exactly. The other thing about this, it's like you've been at this for a while now. It's not like any of the companies, especially ones they define in the bill as large frontier development companies.
Explain what a frontier model is.
So they've separated, in the bill, they sort of separated out frontier and foundational models. The foundational model is something they said is trained on a broad set of data. It's designed for generality of output, and it's adaptable to a wide range of distinctive tasks. So basically not purpose-built to just be a chatbot and, answer questions about your sweater variations.
My sweater variations?
I don't know what you make. What is Parker threads? I don't know. So they tried to be pretty clear on what that is. Then a frontier model is a foundational model that was trained using a quantity of computer power greater than a number. And they define that number as 10 to the 26th integer or floating point operations.
Yeah.
In the bill, they're defining what a frontier model is based on size of compute used to generate it.
Because it's going to be really cute in a couple of years when that number seems super small. No one will ever need more than 64 K of RAM.
In a couple of years when my watch does it for me. When my watch is like, oh, like, did you just request a pizza? You just generated a frontier model on your watch based on this definition.
Sure.
So it's a very reasonable definition of frontier models. My point is, if you are a company who has been building these frontier models, right, especially the large ones, you are not without funding. You have a mountain of money and you have some of the smartest technologists in the world working for you. So it doesn't seem unreasonable that you would have thought through some of these challenges and already been sort of viewing and reporting some of it. It also doesn't seem unreasonable that in the past, let's call it at least 4 or 5 years that you've gotten a tremendous amount of funding, you could have come up with a framework.
Sure.
You could have come up with something to say, hey, you know what, as a group, let's all do this. You could have absolutely got that done in time. You haven't.
And you didn't.
And I think it's okay. I actually think it's optimal for a leader like California to say, you know what, we're going to set a very low bar, which is what I believe they've done, and we want you to meet it. And I think that's extremely reasonable. And I really do hope that we could get together with all the other large frontier models and even the smaller ones and say, well, here's a framework that we think is even better.
Yeah.
And pitch that. Yeah. But that hasn't happened yet. I know some people have tried. There have been folks working on, especially like ethics and AI for over a decade, but we haven't gotten the big guys, I think, to come together on this. And hopefully this pushes them there.
Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei said, it's saying you have to tell us what your plans are. You have to tell us the tests you run. You have to tell us the truth about them, which, by the way, this is over in the bill. You have to tell us the truth. You have to not lie to us. You have to not mislead us. And it's like, why does this have to be in a bill? Clearly
Literally,
it does.
In the bill, it says you have to tell the truth. It says you can't misrepresent these things. And I'm like, why is there a list after this? Isn't it? You just shouldn't be able to misrepresent, period, full stop.
100%. Why does this have to be in a bill?
Do we need a don't lie bill? Is that a thing?
I'm just gobsmacked that this is something we need to legislate still.
So it is fortunately sitting on Newsom's desk. And if he approves it, we get a nice little AI bill. I think it'll be great for us. If you believe that you are on the cusp of hitting an AGI that can, rule the world, we should probably think through some of these things before we turn it on. I've seen Terminators 1 and 2. And let me tell you, don't piss that thing off. I'm pro this. I think this is reasonable.
I'm pro this too, and Andreessen Horowitz are crazy. I mean, not just for this, for other reasons too, but for this stance as well.
I feel like their relevancy, like I've seen so many things from them in the past where they are like, this thing here is the best thing ever and it has to happen. Yeah. And I'm like, really? How much of this is hope and how much of this is actually what the world wants?
Oh, they have very, very high efficiency when it comes to losing money.
Okay. I was like, oh, he's about to, oh, no.
RFK Jr. seeks to restrict COVID shots, citing debunked claims. Federal health officials under Robert F. Kennedy Jr. are reportedly considering restricting COVID-19 mRNA vaccines to those 75 and older. The move, based on unverified data from a voluntary reporting system, comes despite extensive evidence that the vaccines are safe and effective.
The evidence, though, is all, it's all just big pharma propping it up because they make such great margin on these.
Kennedy, a longtime anti-vax advocate, has already fired a vaccine advisory panel and canceled funding from mRNA research. This has sparked significant backlash from medical organizations, lawmakers, and former HHS employees who've issued their own guidance and called for his resignation. Critics across the political spectrum are opposing his actions, citing concerns about politicizing public health and undermining vaccine science. Meanwhile, Washington State, Oregon, and California have come together to make their own vaccine recommendations.
But, okay, all these critics that are opposing his actions, citing concerns about politicizing public health and undermining vaccine science. Where have you been for the last 6 months? What did you just wake up?
They have been. It's just hard. Were
you on a cruise? Did you go on one of those relocation cruises where they move the boat from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere and you didn't buy the internet package? What have you been doing? Of course. This is all what we've been seeing for quite some time.
The voluntary reporting system that he's quoting, where he's saying kids have been killed from these vaccines. These are reports that are sent in. It is literally where the reports are sent in. They're not proven. Yeah. There's nothing behind them. They haven't been vetted. Yeah. He's just looking at this raw. Most of the time, there's no action required on these reports because most of them aren't true.
Yeah. Well, there's another problem in this too. We're talking about kids and this COVID vaccine killing them. But you know what actually has been validated and killed kids?
COVID.
You had 25 kids die of COVID-19.
Yes.
The disease, not the vaccine, since July of 2023. So in the past 2 years, we've had 25 kids. 16 of them were old enough to get vaccinated and 14 had no record of getting a vaccine. Yeah. And none were up to date on their other vaccines.
Wow.
If you look at the population of people of kids that died of COVID, the vast majority of them were unvaccinated. Yeah. I don't understand how much better data than that on that particular point you would need. And you do have increased risk. We know this because I looked deeply at this before vaccinating my kids on COVID. You do have increased risk of myocarditis, which is a real risk. And
yes.
It's like 27 cases per million doses. Yeah. So that is a number that is not
tiny.
Significant, but it's something. But here's the thing. When you get COVID, the chances of getting myocarditis in that same population is higher. So you're going to get myocarditis if you get COVID. Yeah. And it's not great. I don't want to give my kids a shot that could potentially expose them to myocarditis. To your point, the number is very small. If they get COVID, this helps keep them. So I do not believe there's any real correlation between this, but it seems easy, at least not that I know of. It seems easy to believe that if you get the COVID-19 vaccine and you have a response that ends in myocarditis, had you gotten the COVID-19 disease without the vaccine, yes, you would have the same response, likely greater to myocarditis. That does not seem unreasonable because the mRNA vaccine looks like the virus. That's what happens. So that's how it works. And when you're looking at a disease that's going down this endemic path, you're all going to get it, right? As someone who is just recovering from COVID for the fourth time, we're all going to get this thing. This is going to be a slightly worse version of the cold. That is what it's going to be for folks that have survived it. The folks that have died from it, it was worse than the cold. But everybody else, slightly worse version of the cold. That's kind of where we think this is going to end up. So anyway, I'm going to step off my Apple box.
The good news is, there's good news at the end of this. Kennedy's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices is scheduled to meet next week, September 18th, 19th, to discuss COVID-19 vaccines as well as hepatitis B vaccines, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine.
Oh, we got to get rid of those.
Respiratory RSV vaccines, and apparently we're just going to get rid of everything that's keeping us alive.
We're also going to ban all supplies of oxygen. No pure oxygen to anybody. Big Oxygen has been saying you need this for so long.
U.S. and China agree to a TikTok deal securing the app's future. Maybe it won't go dark on Wednesday. U.S. and Chinese officials have reached a framework agreement for TikTok to become a U.S.-controlled company. The deal, which will be confirmed in a call between President Trump and President Xi Jinping, aims to resolve national security concerns over Chinese access to American user data, like the floss dance. The agreement allows for a 90-day extension to finalize the details, including whether TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, will transfer intellectual property. While the U.S. focuses on security, China wants to preserve the app's cultural characteristics, which I don't know if there are any. The deal marks the second attempt at an agreement this year after a previous one fell through.
All right, a couple things. I don't believe that we're that much closer. I mean, maybe, but the fact that you just announced a framework a couple days before you're going to extend this thing again seems like some sort of, cover story. But then again, do we really need a cover story to extend it? As long as we've had it before. So I don't know. Maybe they've got something, maybe not.
It is bizarre. They say they are giving no details. We have who's the company who's buying this?
There's zero.
What are you talking about? There's nothing.
I have
doesn't mean they don't have something. We just don't know what it is.
I have renewed optimism about this.
You do.
Specifically because they called out the cultural characteristics they want to preserve. I think we should do a little uno reverso on this.
Yeah.
And when we get when we get their IP into the US controlled company, and it's their algorithm and selection of their videos and all of that, we should do what they do to our IP and just open source it to everybody. Just open source their IP to everyone in the US and just be like, oh, oops.
Okay.
Just like they do to our IP, and we'd be like, oh, sorry. And then the cat's out of the bag. And then whoever bought it, it can just, it can go to not zero, but to a smaller number.
Won't go to zero. People
don't go to zero.
TikTok. But TikTok has this enormous amount of momentum.
But wouldn't that be great if we can get US control of Chinese IP and then be like, oh, this is your crown jewel? You want to see how it feels? And then you just let everyone copy it. And then
you're angry today.
Oh yeah. And then you and I could start a site called BitDance and just we could do kilobyte dance. I don't know. I can do this all day. What else do you want to do? Sure. Megabyte dance? It'll be the big dance. Yeah.
Definitely don't want to do this all day. Okay, enough of the headlines. In fact, enough of the episode. We have to get out of here. I especially would like to get out of here now. Special thanks to our floor director, Matt Spitz.
Hold on, I'm buying Gigabyte Dance right now. Is he under a blanket in there? Thanks, Matt. You sound great.
We'll be back later this week with our big story, The Button That Rules Them All, a love letter to the clicker. Until then, thank you for listening to all this nonsense. I'm Jeff Parker.
The clicker? Is that like the Gipper? Who's the clicker?
Your grandparents might have had a clicker when you were a kid.
Oh, we come from different generations. I had me a color TV.
Oh, did you?
We'll talk about it later this week.
Okay.
I'm still.
Click.
Oh, that's just sad. It's the saddest thing you could have said. I thought it'd be like a goodbye, but no, you just turned me off. All right. I have very good news for you, Jeff.
Oh, I like that.
The future is here.
Is that right?
Yeah, but I want you to forget the CDRW.
CDRW, the CD, the compact disc read write.
I want you to forget the DVD RAM.
I just want to make sure we're all talking the same thing.
Oh, we're going to be here for a while. The future of real-time AV recording is...
I don't know.
The Orb.
Oh, okay.
With Orb, you can easily store and distribute images, MP3 audio, digital video, MPEG-2, that new standard, and vast amounts of data.
Okay.
Orb lets you transfer information between a broad range of digital-based products with an unprecedented convenience, flexibility, and high speed.
Nice.
You can get data transfer rates up to 12.2 megabytes per second.
Is this like a thumb drive from the past? Tell me what this is.
Don't cause trouble. You can actually record streaming audio and video directly to the Orb disc without dropping any frames. The best part is that you can easily afford it.
Wow.
Each 2.2 gigabyte Orb disc is only $39.95. That's an unbelievable 2.2 gigabytes of portable storage with each disc for less than $40, because $39.95 is less than $40.
I saw that.
And the Orb drive itself starts as low as $199.95.
Wow.
The Orb from Castlewood, it changes everything.
Tell me what this looks like. Is it literally like a USB drive? Only obviously there wasn't USB probably when this was.
Well, let me ask you a question first before I tell you about it. Do you know of this thing?
No.
Do you remember? Okay, I never knew of it at all. Yeah. It looks like a disc. I mean, it looks. You know what it looks like to me is a zip disk. It looks like a zip disk.
Oh, okay, okay.
Which kind of gives you an unnecessary help.
Is it tape based?
I do not believe it's tape based. I believe it to be revolving media based on that speed.
I don't know what that means. Is it optical media? Is it magnetic media? What is it?
I believe it to be magnetic magnetic revolving media.
Okay.
Like a zip disk, but in a case.
So it's like a floppy drive.
Like a floppy drive.
Okay. It's there on floppy drive.
It's a big floppy drive that nobody ever knew. This thing looks like, I think this is worth giving away. This looks like a zip disk, but it's a zip disk I never heard of. And I think that gives you a pretty big hint to identifying the time period.
Well, I remember zip disks.
Yeah.
There's also, it mentions MP3. It does not mention MP4. There are a few little hints in the text here. MPEG 2, no MPEG 4. Data transfer rate, which is screaming fast, according to this, is 12.2 megabytes per second. You're
going to have to upgrade your USB to 2.0.
Yeah, I think this probably predates the Y2K bug. So 1998.
You're in the window. This ad is from 2000.
Oh, wow.
So I can only assume that it was, a year or two before that. So I think you're well in the window. I just think it's fascinating, not just the speed, but 2.2 gigabytes now. I think you can take pictures that big.
Sure.
I certainly take video that big.
Of course you can. Of course.
Anyway, all of this now you just get basically included in your stuff.